So I saw the Lex Friedman podcast with Rick Beato on it, and I wanted to make a quick video about something very specific he said when he was talking about his son's perfect pitch and how he thinks that came about. It ties into a video that I made just a few weeks ago about a study that was done, I think it was 10 years ago or something, at University of Washington, where basically they were talking about how babies can learn language better with music. Now, when Rick was talking to Lex, he was talking about how his son has perfect pitch, and he thinks it's because both in utero and in his first 9 months, he was playing him what he calls high information music.
I did a thing where I played what I call high information music. High information music would be Bach, well-tempered clavier, fugues, anything Bach. And I would play the well-tempered clavier, and I have a friend, Turkish pianist, who's one of the greatest improvisers I've ever heard. His name is Aydin Essen. And I would play Aydin's improvisations for Dylan. It had very sophisticated harmony and linear things in it. And Keith Jarrett, and mainly jazz, classical, and modern classical music. And then we would listen to rock music once he was born. I'm talking on my wife's stomach before Dylan was born, starting at 15 weeks for 30 minutes a night. And then when Dylan was born, I would sit with him for an hour every morning and listen to music, and I would look at him. In order for this, for them to hear these phonemes apparently and develop this language, or get the language acquisition, has to involve the social brain. So when kids look at you, when a baby is looking at you, they're looking at your mouth, and they're getting social cues from that.
The important thing in all of this was that he was saying he was interacting with his son, and he mentioned that there was some social stuff going on there that was kind of a key ingredient. And that's exactly what the study said that I had done a video on when they were talking about parents playing with their kids while listening to music and how that helped kids learn languages better. They took 39 babies, they put 19 babies into one group and 20 into another group. The 19 babies were in a group where they would come in and they would have a 15-minute play session with their parents where they just played with toys. The other group of 20, they came in and they played with their parents for the same amount of time. As the article explains, recordings of children's music played while a member of the research team led the babies and their parents through tapping out the beats in time with the music. All of the songs played were deliberately chosen to be difficult for babies to learn. So within 1 week of the sessions concluding, the families returned for brain response measurement. As the article says, the infants sat in a brain scanner and listened to a series of music and speech sounds which were played out in a rhythm that was occasionally disrupted. And then when researchers looked at those scans, the results showed that babies in the music group had stronger brain responses to the disruptions in both music and speech rhythm compared to babies in the other group. This result suggests that experiencing a rhythmic pattern in music may improve the ability to detect and make predictions, a cognitive skill important to speech processing as well. Lead author Christina Zhao on this project said that the babies seem to learn better, specifically when they're engaged with their parents in these play sessions. They rounded out the article mentioning the researcher also has no data on if passively listening has the same effect. Now, the study that I had done a video on, there was a specific thing mentioned by the head researcher, which was that there was no actual measurable benefit by just playing classical music passively, but rather when the parents engaged physically with their babies while listening to the music, that's where the magic happened. Check out my video. It's from just a few weeks ago. I think it was titled, "Does Music Help Babies Learn?" or something like that. There's only a few videos on my channel, so you can't miss it. So I just thought it was interesting how these concepts overlap. Rick's talking about perfect pitch, and the study I did a video was talking about learning languages, but the overlap there was music and the parents' engagement physically with the baby while listening to the music. That was kind of the nucleus of how there was a benefit there on both of those.
I just played complex high information music for him, and played with him.
And that applies maybe even more generally to high information language.
Yes.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty awesome that Rick was talking about babies being born with perfect pitch and how you can facilitate that continuing on as they grow. And the video that he referenced from that TED Talk, I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. That was pretty fascinating stuff too. Thought I'd make a video about it.